Walk down any supermarket aisle, and you'll see countless golden bottles of cooking oil. It's a kitchen staple, universally accessible, and surprisingly cheap to buy. Historically, extracting that oil was a brute force effort. Traditional mechanical pressing, using heavy wooden rigs, could squeeze out only about 13% of the oil hidden inside a seed. It was slow, inefficient, and expensive. To understand the modern industry, look at a single kilogram of raw soybeans. It costs a farmer roughly 60 taka to grow. But mathematically, that kilogram breaks down into a maximum of 180 grams of extractable oil, leaving behind 820 grams of solid waste. Here is the problem. If it takes nearly 6 kilograms of raw soybeans just to get 1 liter of oil, how are companies bottling and selling that liter for around 100 taka? The math doesn't work. The industry treats bottled oil as a loss leader. They find their profit in the 82% into bean that never makes it to the kitchen, the waste that fuels a massive, hidden industrial ecosystem. We have to leave the farm behind and step inside the massive chemical refineries, where modern cooking oil is actually engineered. Step 1 is solvent extraction. To bypass the limits of mechanical crushing, factories soak the crushed beans in hexane, a chemical solvent derived from petroleum. Hexane completely dissolves the fats, extracting nearly 100% of the oil. This creates our first profit checkpoint. Once the hexane is evaporated, factories are left with mountains of dry, stripped soybean waste. This high-protein byproduct is sold off in bulk to make poultry feed and the cheap particle board used in mass-market furniture. Step 2 is degumming. The raw oil is packed with Mac12 phospholipids, or plant gums, which cause smoke and foam when they hit a hot frying pan. To strip them out, the factory pumps in phosphoric acid, forcing a heavy, thick sludge to sink to the bottom of the tank. That extracted sludge is the second profit checkpoint. It is refined into lecithin, a highly valuable chemical smoothing agent. The exact industrial sludge removed from your cooking pan is sold to pharmaceutical and cosmetic companies. It's what gives your favorite chocolate bars and lipsticks their smooth texture. Step 3 is neutralization. The acid used in the previous step leaves the oil highly corrosive, full of free fatty acids. To fix this, engineers flood the tanks with sodium hydroxide, commonly known as caustic soda. The caustic soda aggressively reacts with the leftover acids, bubbling up to form a dense, toxic layer known as soap stock at the base of the mixture. This hits the third profit checkpoint. The factory drains this soap stock and sells it straight to detergent and candle manufacturers to create the household cleaning products under your sink. Step 4 is bleaching. By now, the brutal chemical reactions have turned the oil a dark, unappetizing color, so the mixture is pumped into a vacuum and heavily dosed with activated charcoal and bleaching earth, which absorb every trace of pigment. This creates the fourth profit checkpoint. After the pitch-black clay is filtered out, the factory sells it by the ton as raw material for road construction projects and local brick kilns. What begins as an attempt to purify cooking oil becomes a zero-waste revenue stream across 4 different industries. At this stage, the oil is clear and acid-free, but it retains a harsh chemical odor from the hexane and raw plant matter. This leads to step 5, deodorization. The oil is trapped inside a massive vacuum chamber and heated to 200 degrees Celsius, while superheated steam is violently blasted through the liquid to strip away any remaining scent. Here we find the 5th and final profit checkpoint. The foul-smelling vapor boiling off the top is captured, condensed, and distilled. This highly concentrated byproduct is sold to pharmaceutical companies to manufacture expensive vitamin E supplements and cholesterol-lowering medications. Refineries sustain themselves by supplying the animal feed, cosmetic, detergent, and pharmaceutical industries. The cheap cooking oil in our supermarkets is simply the byproduct left over from those processes. What finally leaves the factory is a completely clear, tasteless, odorless fluid, artificially stabilized so it can sit on a store shelf for years without spoiling. But this engineering marvel requires a biological sacrifice. The intense heat, hexane washes, and caustic soda baths systematically eradicate the natural antioxidants and intrinsic nutritional value the seed originally held. This is why health authorities like the WHO and India's FSSAI warn against relying entirely on highly processed, nutritionally void fats for everyday cooking. To protect cardiovascular health, the best approach is dietary diversity. Mixing traditional, unrefined, cold-pressed oils back into your daily routine provides the natural fats and nutrients your body actually needs. The modern refining process truly represents a high point in industrial efficiency. But the value of our food is defined by what nature keeps in the bottle, not what a factory takes